Hi, everybody. I think I'm live. Give me a thumbs up on anywhere, on Facebook, on YouTube, but it looks like I am live. So I'm gonna hit watch live video because I need to answer your questions. Oop, there it is. There we go. So I'm just looking through here. There I am. It's quite funny. Oh, it's worked. I love it when it works. Perfect, you guys. So yes, I can see you guys. Somebody's writing, love the fireplace. Brilliant, everybody. I've got, oh, this is excellent. We love it when it works. So hi from Mapperton. We do have the lovely fireplace here. As I said, up there, you can't quite see it because it's way high up there, but this is 1604. So very, very early 17th century. Maybe you can hear the clocks going off as well. I always get a little bit nervous before these things happen because I'm like, because we're in the middle of nowhere. So as my husband would always say, if you were to drop a pin to the most remote part of all of England, you would hit Mapperton. So welcome to Mapperton. It's obviously dark here. It's 8 o'clock at night here in the UK. And I think you guys are all around, you're all around the world, which is super exciting. So again, it's a Q&A. I want to talk a little bit first just about this two-part special that we're having at Mapperton. So if you haven't yet tuned in to season 1 of An American Aristocrat's Guide to Great Estates, I urge you to tune into that. You can find it in the States on Amazon Prime, it's on iTunes, it's Apple TV. And if you want to watch one free episode, you can head to Smithsonian Channel's YouTube and you can watch the Inverara Castle, which is in Scotland in the Highlands, and you can watch that. That will hopefully whet your appetite to want to watch the entire season 1. And so we now are coming up to the two-part special at Mapperton. So when we were in the middle of filming season 1, we kind of, because we were mentioning Mapperton so many times, we thought it would be a good idea to actually film here at Mapperton. So on Monday night, for those of you in the States at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, you'll be able to see Welcome to Mapperton. And then the following Monday night, the 14th, is Christmas at Mapperton. But I'm going to be doing another live Q&A next Friday with a first look scene at Downton Abbey. So we'll be doing another live Q&A next Friday night, same time, same place, but you'll be able to get a first look of Highclere Castle, Downton Abbey, and then you can ask me even more questions, especially once you watch the Welcome to Mapperton episode. So, oh good, Nelda said that she's purchased the first season. It was so entertaining. I want to say hi to Kathy from Boston. I'm not going to probably be able to say hi to everybody, but we've got Nina from Orland Park, Illinois, Fran from Florida. Of course, I have to say hi to Kathy from my hometown, Sugar Grove, Illinois. Jill, my old friend from my high school, West Aurora. You did a walk in Pressbury last week. In front of my old house. I'm sure we have lots of fond memories there, Jill, as well. We've got Raul from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And so I'm gonna get into about 5 questions. There's so many comments, which is great. 5 questions, and then I wanna get right to the clip, the Tiara scene clip. This is a first look of the Tiara scene, which we filmed in the drawing room, which is behind me, which is part of the Tudor part of the house. So when you see that scene, that room dates back to about the 1540s. And I think you guys, especially those of you in America, are really gonna love this scene because there's another American link to it as well. So I'm gonna do about 5 questions. And then we're gonna go right into the 6-minute, it's about 6 minute, you're gonna love this Tiara scene. So I've got, I'm just going down here. So St. Louis, Sarah from St. Louis as I'm scrolling through. So Kathy's asked, what was the hardest thing to adjust to when you moved and married your husband? And thank you for saying the home is beautiful. Thank you. Hopefully you guys can come and visit. So I think probably the hardest thing was probably the weather. So England has, it's gray and it rains a lot. But on the one hand, the weather was hard to adjust to, but then when you would see the sun, I appreciated it much more. I'd probably say the second thing about that, and to be fair, I've been here for almost 20 years, is the language. Yes, we all speak the same technically English language, but there are words over here that I had never heard of before or pronounced in a different way. And still to this day, I sometimes have to ask my husband, what does that word mean? And even over the phone with my 4 children who have very strong English accents, I have to ask them, can you try to say that the American way so I can understand them over the phone? So it is quite funny. I'm just going to say hi, watching from Tulsa via Illinois. That's Gary. Michelle is so excited to see it. We've got Mary from New Jersey. Geneva, oh my gosh, I love Little Traveler, Lori. I hope it's still there, Geneva. I loved going to the Little Traveler all the time. Bonita from West Virginia, Ohio, Rachel, oh my gosh, Connie, Oregon, you're everywhere, Philadelphia. I wonder if we're gonna get all 50 states. So Karen's asked, so a couple of you have asked about season 2. So if you haven't heard, because you guys have watched and because you've spread the word, and that is super, super important, that is how TVs get recommissioned. You can have a brilliant TV series, but if nobody watches it, it's not going to get recommissioned. You guys were amazing. You spread the word, so please keep spreading the word. That is how we got a season 2. I start filming season 2 in early 2021. We have the majority of the houses picked out right now. I can't tell you yet, but you will find out in early 2021. And about my outfits, yes, we've started to pick out the outfits because we've got some spectacular locations. And I just have to shout out to Marsha, my cousin, my favorite cousin from Appleton, Wisconsin. Love you too, Marsha. Say hi to the boys and all, and to Dan and to Johnny and to William and to Patrick. Says hi. So Stephen's going to ask me some questions. So we've got YouTube as well and Smithsonian Channel. So Stephen,
we've got quite a few questions.
Okay.
So, Cheryl says, what century in British history was your favourite if you had to pick one?
What century? So I'm really into sort of, so 20th century. I'm very, very much into the whole early 1900s. I love Downton Abbey. If you love Downton Abbey, to watch the second, well, you must watch both parts of the Mapperton specials because I obviously go to Highclere Castle, but I would say the 20th century. I love the early 20th century.
Gina on the Smithsonian stream asks, that fire looks cozy. How did they heat Mapperton back in the day? Is the estate filled with fireplaces?
Yeah, so I've got my husband over here. You can't see him, but I'm going to ask him, how many fireplaces are here at Mapperton, would you say? We've counted them before. I think
probably about 20, I should think. In the house.
So there's about 20 fireplaces in the house. They don't all get used, but many of them actually do get used. We've got this one going now. We've got another one going in a sitting room over there. And obviously there's a fireplace in the drawing room, which we use. We use the fireplace in the library.
There's fireplaces in most of the bedrooms.
Yeah, most of the bedrooms have fireplaces. So that's how it was heated before. So just simply by fire. We have a huge firewood shed. I would call it a shed where Raymond, who features on the Welcome to Mapperton episode, it says head of maintenance, but his technical term is clerk of the works. And we've got lots and lots of firewood that that Raymond has been chopping down for 37 years here now. So Stephen, maybe 2 more questions and then we'll go into the clip. And
sure,
then there'll be lots more questions afterwards as well.
We've got one from Sue on the YouTube screen. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Yes, it was Susan. Sorry, Susan. What was your impression of Mapperton Estate from the very first time you saw it?
So the very first time I saw it, the story goes like this, and I stick to the stories. My husband said to me, just so you know, I'm going to bring you to our family home, and it's kind of big. And he kind of said it like that. And I sort of looked at him and was like, well, it's okay. I come from America, the land of supersize, right? We're all about big. So I was expecting probably something similar to big homes in America, if you like. And then we drove down the main drive. And I think what really sort of took me aback was not just the size of it, but really the history behind it. And it, you can see from the outside, it does look like it was built, parts of it about 500 years old. So that's the thing I probably noticed at first, was not necessarily the scale and the size of it, but really the stone of it. So the sandstone and the color of the sandstone, and just really how, in one sense, you know, how precious and fragile in that sense. I mean, it's built really sturdy, but how spectacular this home is. So, Stephen, one more?
Yes, one more. Ali, also on the Smithsonian stream, asks, I understand that you do lots of work at Mapperton yourself as a family. What is the typical day working at or running a house like this?
Well, if you head to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that since lockdown, I have been filming pretty much 2 to 3 times a week of exactly what has been going on here. So my YouTube channel is filled with behind the scenes of picking hawthorns, picking apples, making my own apple juice, my own medlar tart. We also, Rebecca, so if you watched Rebecca on Netflix, that huge film on Netflix with Lily James and Kristen Scott Thomas and Armie Hammer, it was filmed here at Mapperton. You'll recognize the gardens. So we try, on my YouTube channel, we're constantly working in the nicest possible way, but we are constantly working from all the repairs and the leaks and the restorations to using the estate. So making sure that we're foraging, or I'm going out and getting the rose hips to make rose hip jelly, using the medlars to make a medlar tart, going foraging for mushrooms, making nettle soup. But that's the fun part of it. But of course, there's a lot of hard work, and you're going to see that actually in the Welcome to Mapperton episode, which airs on Monday night on Smithsonian. You will see a lot of the repairs. You'll see actually a lead window being repaired. The stonework, you'll see Darren, the stonemason, repairing some of the stonework here. You'll see my husband having a chat with Raymond, who's been here for 37 years, talking and looking at the enormous list of repairs. It's constant repairs. And funny enough, it wasn't really that funny, but we can look back at it funny. Over lockdown, the first lockdown where we were really, really locked down between March and May, we think about how many leaks did we have, Luke? We had about 11 leaks that were happening, and my husband and I he became excellent in his plumbing skills, having the plumber on the end of the phone to repair some of those leaks. Somebody said that I'm gathering an English accent. Well, my English friends would say I have a very American accent, but you're right. When I go back to the States, they say that I have a little bit of an English accent. So what I want to do right now is we're still going to gather through some of your questions, but we're going to play the Tiara scene. And again, I think you're going to find this fascinating about Alberta, my husband's great-grandmother, who was the 9th Countess of Sandwich, who actually came from Illinois, just like me, and wore this tiara. So we're going to play that right now, Stephen. Is that right? Okay. And then we'll be back with your questions. So don't, if you can stay on, hopefully you can stay on, and we're going to gather some more of your questions. When I walked down the aisle in 2004, I even wore the diamond tiara that has been in the family for generations. All right, so here it is. But its history remains a mystery. Fine jewelry specialist Joanna Hardy will hopefully cast some light on its story.
Oh, excellent. How did you feel on the day when you put this on? Did you know how to put it on?
No.
I mean,
listen, almost a joke when they were like, you're going to wear the tiara, and you're like, wait, what? And I had never seen it before.
But when did you first set your eyes on it?
When I was upstairs getting my hair done, it was brought into me.
On the day?
On the day. I didn't see this.
On the day?
Yeah, I never saw this until the day.
Really?
Like an hour before. Yeah.
No.
I promise you. Literally, probably an hour before I walked down the aisle. I felt like it almost symbolized sort of this entry into this whole new world and an acceptance. You know, I'm thinking, oh, they're letting me wear the tiara. I'm now part of the family.
It was confirming, wasn't it? There was a sense of belonging.
Yes. Looking at it now, I mean, it is beautiful, isn't it?
It's absolutely, it's stunning. So what I'm looking at here, which jewellery was made with silver and gold up until about 1900, when you then had platinum. Because this is roses. I mean, roses is, you know, attributed to Venus, and that's all about love. And you've got the rose buds here. You've got the serrated leaves of the rose leaves.
Wonderful.
But also with the language of flowers, you always have the rose, because there'll be a thorn as well. It's sort of the pleasure and pain of love. So it's all about the symbolism for a wedding.
Okay, all right, so I have a question for you. This is Alberta. This is my husband's great-grandmother. So she's come over from America, married George Montague, who eventually became the 9th Earl of Sandwich. And this is her wedding day. This is 1905. You know, I've tried to convince myself very hard that she's wearing the tiara here.
She is wearing a tiara, but there's a number of things that went on with tiaras, especially British tiaras, because they were part of a family. A lot of tiaras have changed over time. The Duchess of Sussex, her tiara.
What did Meghan, what was Meghan's tiara again?
It was Queen Mary's bandeau that was made in 1932, but the centrepiece was a brooch that she was given on her wedding day in 1893.
Okay.
She then put the two together. And this happens a lot with tiaras. So going back to this one, you've got this central motif here.
Yeah.
And then you've got these two side pieces here. Now, if you look at it, can you see that actually they don't fit? They were not made at the same time as the main piece in the front.
Oh my goodness.
Then at the bottom here, which is a necklace.
What?
Yeah, it's a necklace. You can take it off and wear it as a necklace. Now, all of these pieces are all similar period.
Okay.
Which is about 1880. But they did not start off life altogether like this.
Okay.
Then, this box here with the Garrard & Co., goldsmiths and jewellers to the King, by special appointment to the Crown, 24 Albemarle Street in London.
Okay.
And they moved here in 1911. This box cannot be any earlier than 1911.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, 1911 was also the coronation of King George V.
Okay.
So, these pieces were put on in 1911 for the coronation.
Oh my gosh, this makes sense. I can't believe it.
Goosebumps myself.
I can't wait to tell my husband this.
The coronation of King George V. That's the current Queen Elizabeth's grandfather. To think that although at the time of the coronation, which it's totally possible that she wore this priceless tiara to the celebrations.
Now that I know this, I kind of feel like I'm bringing Alberta back to life. I kind of think I have an American tiara on my head.
Alberta's portrait hangs center stage at Mapperton.
I feel like she's looking down on me, making sure I'm okay.
Since she was the first American Countess of Sandwich, I really want to find out more about her. The family archive is full of her letters and diaries, and my father-in-law, the current Earl of Sandwich, is Alberta's grandson and knew her when he was a child.
She is not only a fellow American, she's also from Illinois, which is where I'm from. And technically, you do have quite a bit of American blood in you, which then makes my children even more American than English.
That is true.
Exactly. Did she keep her American accent?
She had no American accent that I can remember. No. She was quite an elderly lady, had a rather pearly hairstyle, and she always had a present in a cupboard if you were children.
Right, so when you would visit her, she would have a present for you?
Always something.
So, I hope you guys were able to enjoy that. I was watching, and every time I watch that scene, I actually get chills from it because number one, it reminds me of wearing the tiara on my wedding day, but also, of course, this Alberta was my husband's great grandmother, and I just think it's wonderful knowing that, you know, there is another American here. So, and you'll see further on when you watch the episode on Monday that we do show the portrait of Alberta. I mean, you can tell she's beautiful, but we show the big portrait that's hanging in the staircase hall. That's on the episode as well. So we're going through, so hopefully you learned a lot about tiaras as well and how they were pieced together during that period. So just a couple of things. Stephen's gonna, who's helping me here with tech and who helps me on all things tech, especially on my YouTube channel. Stephen, what were some of the questions that we had got through?
We've had loads of questions. Thank you all for your questions. How did you become a TV presenter?
Became a TV presenter was I never trained in it. I think teaching yoga definitely has helped. I've been teaching yoga for 12 years. I teach all throughout lockdown. I was teaching live yoga as well, and I teach in a big studio in London as well. I'm still continuing to teach yoga, but I think being in front of people and teaching yoga has helped. But it was really, to be honest, I was sort of found out the aristocracy and what it would have been like for Meghan marrying into the royal family. And from that, the BBC then asked me to commentate at their wedding at Windsor Castle. And so it really has just snowballed from the royal wedding of Meghan and Harry and into this presenting job here. So this is my first presenting job. So I can tell you that when it got recommissioned for a season 2, I was very happy, and not only because I love this TV series, but also it helped boost my confidence as a TV presenter because I had never done it before. And you guys have all been so wonderful and gracious in your comments. So Stephen, next question.
We have an issue with the internet, but if people are still on, if you could just pause and say rewind about 30 seconds. I think it's back now, so we're sorry for any pad. It looks like it's back now. So we've got a question here from Bonita who asks, is your shirt vintage?
And Bonita, it certainly is vintage. So this is vintage, and I think it's about 1970s, this shirt. So I do try to collect things mostly in around the 1920s, 1930s, but this is 1970s. Good spot.
Okay, and apologies if I'm saying your name wrong. Aoife asks, which activity from season 1 did you enjoy the most?
So probably from season 1, the activity that I enjoyed the most from season 1 was, definitely tossing the caber at Castle. So definitely tossing the caber at Inverary Castle. And in fact, I so enjoyed, I really enjoyed filming that whole episode. I enjoyed filming actually all of the episodes, but you can see from, if you watch that episode at Inverary Castle, it was very full on and there was a lot of activity. So I think tossing the caber, even though I was rubbish, it was really quite fun.
Karen asks, are you going to post recipes?
So Karen, yes, somebody on here has already said, and I can't remember your name, I'm so sorry, said that they've actually bought 2 medlar trees from one of the recipes that I posted on my YouTube channel. And if you're interested in learning about medlars, that are my new favorite fruit, they are medieval fruit, and then brought the Greeks and the Romans, and then they were sort of passed by the Victorians because the Victorians really were into their very exotic fruit. But we've got a medlar tree at Mapperton, and I made a medlar tart. But if you go to my YouTube channel, I've got lots of recipes on there as well.
Okay. Grace asks, this is a very American question, but what actually is a Viscountess? What does it mean to hold that title?
A Viscountess, what is a Viscountess? Well, there's different sort of levels, if you like, of titles. So you've got King and Queen, Prince and Princess, Duke and Duchess, Marquis and Marchioness, going down, Earl and Countess, Viscount and Viscountess, and then Baron and Baroness. I think I got it all right. So it's really just sort of the hierarchy of the titles of moving up, if that sort of helps to explain it a little bit.
Nelda asks, how heavy is the tiara?
Tiara isn't that heavy, and you probably saw from that clip together with different bits of brooches here, and so it is actually it's not as heavy as it looks. There are obviously some tiaras. I mean, if you look at the royal family, you can kind of spot the ones that are quite heavy, but this one's quite airy. This tiara here is quite airy, and it can be taken apart and used for a brooch or even a necklace. So it wasn't that heavy, to be honest, which is a good thing. It was easy to wear then.
Okay. Or Grazy asks, what kind of cars do you drive?
What kind of cars do I drive? I have an Audi. I have a small car that gets me between Mapperton and London because I have to go between the two, and I have a very small Audi A1. I think in America you call it an Audi. Over here we call it an Audi. I know, see, it's the word thing. And it's an A1, and I don't know if you have A1s actually in America, but it's a very, very small, it's like the size of a Mini. So I have an Audi A1.
And we've got a question here from Monica. What is your favourite painting at Mapperton?
My favorite painting at Mapperton definitely is Alberta. And I'm not just saying that because you saw the scene right now. I think because she's American, it was painted in around the 1920s, and it's my favorite painting. I always feel like when I step into the staircase hall, I feel that Alberta is looking down on me and making sure I'm okay.
Okay, and another question from Diane in Tampa, Florida. Do you spend most of your...
Here days, and so is my husband, because it's a working estate. So Mapperton is really our business, and especially with lockdown, things have been a lot, like with everybody around the world, a lot harder. So, and then we still have children in school in London, so one of us needs to be in London. So we go back and forth weekly. Well, my husband's been down here since Sunday. Today's Friday. I came down yesterday via the train, and then we're going back to London tomorrow, which is Saturday. So yeah, and if you're wondering who's in London, luckily our 19-year-old is coming back from University of Edinburgh right now on the train now, so he can look after his brother tonight. So yes.
The internet appears to have kind of gone a bit funny again. I think some people are still getting stuff at the joys of living in the middle of the Dorset countryside, I guess. I've got one more question, which is from Parag. Which was your favourite part of filming the Welcome to Mapperton episode?
What was filming the Mapperton episode? That's really hard, Parag. Probably Welcome to Mapperton episode. I think probably going to Brussels. So just wait. Sorry, I go to Belgium, I should say. I go to Belgium. Obviously, I went to Brussels through the Eurostar, and we went to Mechelen. And I won't give too much away, but in the Welcome to Mapperton episode,
It's struggling. It comes and goes. I think so. Yeah. I think we're still up in a way.
Are we still up and away? Because mine's
so.
kind of down, but maybe it's up. Basically, going to Belgium is one of my favorite scenes, and wait till you see. I think you'll see why. I don't want to give too much away. You've got to watch it Monday night. And if you want to watch other clips, those of you who haven't watched season 1, or you want to watch other clips of the Welcome to Mapperton episode, had to make sure that you head to Smithsonian Channel's YouTube as well, because other clips will be there as well, which is really exciting. So we might have to, how's our internet? Yeah, so remember, we're in the most remote part of all of England, and so our internet can sometimes be a little bit unstable. But I just want to urge you guys all to be sure to tune in on Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Smithsonian Channel. If you're looking how to get the Smithsonian Channel, just head to smithsonianchannel.com, and there's many, many ways to watch it from there. I'm sorry, I would try. There were so many questions, so we just picked out the ones that we're firing through, but hopefully we were able. And we'll be doing another time. We're gonna be giving you a special first look clip and scene at Highclere Castle. So if you are a Downton Abbey fan and you wanna see that clip, definitely tune in next Friday. The same time I'll be notifying you guys on my Facebook. Smithsonian will notify you on their Facebook and on our YouTube, and you'll be able to see the Highclere Castle segment. And I think after watching the Welcome to Mapperton episode, you'll have lots of questions for me there. But also after seeing that clip at Highclere Castle, again, you're going to be getting the first look. You'll have lots of questions there as well, in one sense, what it was like to film at Highclere Castle. And I can't wait to tell you. Do please spread the word to all of your friends and family. Forward this live Q&A to anybody that you know might be interested in these episodes. The way we get additional seasons is by people watching. And I'm just going to throw it out there. If you did watch this through Amazon Prime, I just want to say that we have like 135-star reviews. It's extraordinary. It's 5 stars across the board. So I just want to thank you, everybody who reviews this on whatever platform reviews me. So, I love, presenting these TV series to you guys. And in order to keep them going season after season, please do spread the word and continue to watch. So thank you guys so much for joining me here at Mapperton. The fire is going down a little bit here, but hope to see you again next Friday, same time,